I have some big news, and this never happens to me. I won the lottery. After paying Uncle Sam, I have some sizable dough to deal with. Being a money nerd, this means paying off debt or investing. Fortunately, I don't have debt, which means I have some money to invest. Question is, should I invest all at once or invest in pieces for next few years? Hey friends, welcome to Think Finance. My name is Raj and I am a money nerd. I talk about personal finance, investment ideas, crypto, and everything money. So the big news, the lottery, yeah, that didn't happen. I'm not that lucky. In this video, let's talk about what you should do when you do win the lottery or have some cash to invest. Should you go all in at once or spread it over time? There's this concept of dollar cost averaging or DCA, and I talk about this on this channel all the time. It is a key strategy to building a profitable long-term portfolio. The idea is that you invest money at regular intervals, weekly, monthly, or quarterly, in your portfolio, and you automate this, meaning irrespective of where the stock market is, money automatically gets invested at a set interval and at a set date. This is a great strategy for new investors. I did this when I started building my long-term portfolio on M1 Finance. Another example is our contribution in 401k. Happens automatically every pay period. Then there is lump sum investing or LSI, where you take all of your lottery money and invest in one go. To some, this might not sound right. What if the market drops 10%? Quite possible. Right off the gate, you are going to take a hit. This might feel like timing the market, which never works. Some might be more comfortable investing a little bit over time. And when I say over time, I mean years as opposed to weeks or months. I would tag short-term investing as a lump sum. Question is, how do you decide whether to go all in or spread it out, especially in scenarios where markets may be sitting at all-time highs? As it turns out, it is a frequently asked question. Let's start with some data and see if we can make some sense out of it. Vanguard did some research to answer this question. This is an older report, but still quite relevant. They took data from 1926 to 2011 and dropped money in a 60% stock, 40% bond portfolio. They analyzed and compared the two strategies where they invested $1 million lump sum, and for DCA they spread the $1 million across 10 years. And they did this on a rolling basis, meaning they compared every 10-year block through 2011. The result? Investing lump sum outperformed DCA almost 70% of the time. The performance was an average 2.3% more for lump sum compared to DCA. Not much, but over the long term, it will add up. I was able to find a few more studies, including this one, which takes into account data from 1950 till date. Similar results. Lump sum strategy for a 60% stock, 40% bonds portfolio outperformed DCA strategy 81% of the time. Of course, numbers suggest that investing lump sum or upfront is a better strategy compared to dollar cost averaging, most of the times. The key is time, which becomes a huge decision maker. Remember how I talk about timing the market is stupid, which it is, but time in the market is huge. Most of these studies assume that you will stay invested in the market for 10 years or more. This gives enough time for the market to self-correct and work in your favor. So remember, time. And the other point to consider is your mind, your stress level, or your risk tolerance. How would you react if you invested lump sum $10,000 tomorrow and then the market dropped 10% the next month? Would you kick yourself, sell everything, be unhappy, stop eating in restaurants, just be stressed? If you think this is how you would react, then DCA might be a better option. It offers some level of mental sanity or safety, since you don't have to deal with the potential feeling of regret that comes when a market goes south. Here is what it comes down to. You basically need to ask yourself two questions: how well you can sleep at night during periods of market volatility, and how long until you need the money. Assuming you have time on your side, LSI is a better option if you're looking to maximize the return and can manage market volatility. DCA is a better option if you want to minimize downward risk and want some mental sanity. You might have to let go of some potential returns. Here is how I look at this. I do believe that time in the market is key to getting the most out of your investments. But I don't think you have to pick one strategy over the other. Let me explain with 3 examples. Number 1, you John, a new investor with 0 investment experience. Number 2, you are Christine, an experienced investor with a decent-sized portfolio. Number 3, you Sam, with a lot of cash which you want to invest but will need money in 2 years. Dollar cost averaging makes sense for John. Most new investors have a low risk tolerance. They're not used to market turbulence. They're not sure where to invest, how much to invest, and can easily get overwhelmed by market volatility. It makes sense to start small and build your way up as you get more experience and exposure. In my opinion, DCA is a good starting point for John. Christine, on the other hand, has seen her share of market volatility. Depending on where she is in her investment journey, she could use both strategies. Invest consistently via DCA to reach her portfolio target, and maybe use lump sum strategy to buy major dips. Indeed, I can relate to Christine. I started with DCA and automated my investing using M1 Finance. Today, I have reached a point where I don't need to invest periodically since my portfolio is on track to meet my financial target. Now I just buy the dip when market drops 10%, 20%, and 30%. Lump sum strategy. Sam's situation is a bit tricky. He thinks cash is trash and should be invested. He has some cash which he's planning to use as a down payment on a house 2 years from now. Let's go back to our decision criteria: time and risk tolerance. Sam needs money in 2 years. He doesn't have a lot of time to work with. He also cannot take a lot of risk since this is his down payment. If his investment goes south, it means no house. Here are some of the options I would consider, but that is just me and I'm not Sam. Number 1, invest in a super conservative dividend or value-focused portfolio with low beta, which means slow and steady return and little downside. Check this video out for some ideas. Number 2, consider high-yield ETFs. QYLD is a great option where Sam can make 12% annually with little to no downside. I have a video on that as well. Number 3, if Sam is comfortable with the crypto space, stable coins is a decent bet. Depending on the service, Sam can make 10 to 12% on his cash. Again, with little to no downside. Another video to explore. Whatever strategy you use or whatever scenario you're in, time and ability to digest market fluctuations will be the key decision criteria. Personally, if I win the lottery, I will go lump sum since I have time and can sleep very well no matter where the market goes. Let me know what you would do. Thanks for watching. Until next time.